Every guru out there says you need to do creatively financed off-market deals. They say that on-market deals are overshopped and overpriced. That's a load of crap that's just designed to sell courses on how to do off-market and seller finance deals that probably are never going to happen. Now, to be clear, we will do either type. We'll do on-market, we'll do off-market. And really, when you say on-market, off-market, there is no exchange for these businesses. So every deal is off-market. So really, when someone says off-market, they mean unbrokered because there is no market for these businesses. Now, the problem with non-broker transactions is that the seller's price expectations are just so out of whack. Typically, the first thing that any business broker does when they start meeting with a client is starting to walk down their price expectations to something that's realistic. And if the seller can't get to a realistic price, then a good broker isn't going to take that listing. Obviously, a bad broker might list it for the price they know it's never going to sell for. And I've been working with sellers when they're getting ready and right after they've sold their businesses for over 10 years. I've actually been doing that longer than we've been doing buying businesses. And they consistently have an overinflated value in their head. Just last week, we met with someone who thought they were going to sell their business for $15 million. Third-party valuation came in about $3.5 million. And we also see this all the time through our review program. So people bring us businesses that they've found off market and ask us to review it for them. And many times these are many multiples off. So maybe a business that should sell for $1 million is, they've come to an agreement at $5 million. And, we have to tell them, like, this deal doesn't work. One, it's not going to cash flow. And two, this is $1 million business that they think they can sell for $5 million. So one big factor, one contributor that a broker brings to you as a buyer is that they've usually made a realistic expectation of pricing for the seller. Now, I'll say not always. There are a lot of bad brokers out there, but there's also some good ones. And we do look off market, but generally it often just feels like wasted energy. The majority of the deals that we do are brokered transactions. And now there are a lot of non-buyable businesses on websites like bizbuysell or bizquest, but at least they're for sale. It's the same market when you look at the non-brokered deals. You're going to find that the majority of the things you look at are not going to be buyable or they're not going to be bankable. And just don't take our word for it. We've got this quote from an attorney that we work with, Eric too. He's great. We've done several deals with him. He's one of the top SMB buy-side attorneys in the space. And you can see in this post where he says 70% plus of the off-market deals that he works on don't make it to the finish line. And the big problem with these deals is the buyer's never really fully committed to selling the business, and you don't have that broker or M&A advisor to smooth the path for them and give them advice on how to move through the transaction. And the problem with heavy seller finance deals is that the seller really doesn't have that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to keep them engaged as things get hard. Because there's going to be a time through that deal process where things get hard. And if they don't have a broker to help them, a broker to talk them through it, and a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, they're gonna back out. Now the problem with you, and if you've engaged an attorney, great attorney like Eric or another attorney, you have realized some legal fees before that deal falls apart. So you're going to have broken deal costs, and those broken deal costs are going to be things like attorney's fees. If you had a quality of earnings done, if you're going through the loan process, you're going to have to make deposits at different stages. You do $5,000, you do your term sheet, you do another $5,000, you get your commitment letter. So you might have 10 grand within the bank. So you can have $20,000, $50,000 in broken deal costs. And that's a big hit. I'd say off-market deals and creative financing are not what the gurus say it is. The people that make their living doing something other than being in the market, buying and selling businesses every day. And you'll see the people that are in the market every day saying the same thing like Eric did here, because Eric's the real deal and he sees a lot of what's going on. So both brokered and non-brokered deals both have their pros and cons. If you need help navigating that, reach out to us. We can help you in several ways. Like I said, we can review your deal just for a fee to see if things are going to be viable or not. We can help you secure an SBA loan, or if you want help finding your business, we can buy a business together.